Baptize me, baby.
When the sun comes up, fly with me and Medua. Kickstart the stick and we're off. Got that fire purple. Take 2 puffs that ooh-ah. Sugar hit your jelly beans. A drop is all that's needed. Bumping the night over Kim's moonshine. Vodka's fine with magic and fly. See you on the dark side of the moon. Eyes in the sky. Fire of Lucifer. Tyrian purple. Perfume intoxication. Fire King Charlemagne. Sugar skull. Poisonous kiss. Amazon ladies with weapons from Hades. Love is the drug that drives them all crazy. Warrior goddess. Belly dance with a skirt made of pennies. Cobra venom got them on the flash show. Then they're in a trance. Lady Justice didn't disappear. She just moved camp. We still flying.
Welcome back to Lady Babylon. Welcome back to Initiating Apocalypse. Thank you so much, Devil, for coming tonight. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you for your time and your patience. Yes, your patience. I have put together for you, given directly to me from the Muse. Sources. Oh, God, are these gorgeous tonight? You're going to love this. You're going to absolutely love it because I know nobody has been baptized within the sound of my voice. I know you're sitting there and you think you've been baptized, but this is the 2025 baptism of fire. Oh, my God, you're going to love this. You're going to see it for the first time. I've got a warning. There's a lot of you out there who think, oh, I was baptized. Oh, and I'm going to a baptism this Sunday. It'll be glorious. No, you have not. You have not. Those of you who call yourselves Baptists, you have never seen or been baptized. Those of you what follow the papal hat, neither of you. Neither have you. What a bold, declarative statement. I must air out my great testicular fortitude to make such an assertion right now with you. I'm going to show you, my beloved satanic congregation. I'm going to show you tonight the real. I'm going to bring you the baptism of fire, and I hope, my dear, that you love it. Now, I'm very excited to announce that we have found, Chewy and I have found the perfect comment. The perfect comment. This coming to you tonight, this comment was what I have been working for 2 years to receive. Chewy, blow us up. Let's take a read of this thing. This is from Soul's Cry. Soul's Cry, thank you so much for bringing me the best comment. Thank you so much. I don't know what to say, Soul's Cry. I don't know what to say. Hillman is no doctor. He is no PhD. He is the worst kind of fraud out there. That son of a bleep. Don't you love it? Because this is early on. You know what I mean? It's early on. So I'll self-bleep. That son of a B is one of the most blasphemous bastards spewing filth and lies. bastards. I think they meant bastard. Right? I think they did. We don't have to worry about that one. Right? Because that one's a state of being, right? What am I doing? I'm spewing filth. Oh, I love this. Anybody to tell me about my spewing? Spewing filth and lies of our Lord Jesus Christ and his Virgin Mother Mary, making it all up as he goes. His father is the devil himself. Isn't that gorgeous? That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. He curses himself with every false word that comes out of that filthy mouth of his. Now, people, I don't know about you, but I pride myself on only using a few expletives here and there. You know what I mean? I tend to clean things up pretty nice, don't I? Look, you've everybody's families, gathered around. I know that. People tell me, watch with my family. That's nice. Welcome, everyone. Aunts and uncles. It's gorgeous. Have another one. Tonight's a night of celebration, right? Oh, God. It's the beginning. The beginning of the darkness. You betcha the Catholic Church censored such filth. Did you hear that? Finally, somebody just openly says what a lot of people saw happen in real time. Right? You betcha the Catholic Church has censored such filth to freaking save and protect society and scum from scum like him. Scum. Scum! Listen to the Christians revealed for exactly what they are. This is 2025. And you are entering the baptism of fire. Oh, I love it. I love it. Follow the Pied Piper at the peril of your immortal soul. He is nothing but a high-level Satanist. Now, that's the only place, I thought it was well written up to that point, because, nothing but kind of implies that, it's not that high of a position, but a high-level Satanist. That sounds like you gave me something really high-ranking, but you know what I mean? Just clean that up a little bit, send it back to me. I'll grade it again. Doing the bidding of Satan. Oh, now this part I love. This part I love because the Christians have such a knack. And when I say Christian, I mean monists. The monists have such a knack of bringing all of this together. Right? Now, don't get me wrong. I do mean Christianity. Right? But in general, we're talking about monist phenomena. Right? People who worship a single entity and create their world around them from that worship, that monasty, that monist reality. It's almost a realism. It's a forced realism. Anyway, doing the bidding of Satan to do what? What am I doing? Listen, pull it right from this Christian's mouth. The bidding of Satan to harvest the souls. Is that what I'm doing? You're right. To harvest whose souls? Those souls of stupid people who talk just like this. And what else do they do? They're godless. Remember, people, the first atheists are Christians. The first atheists are Christians. They are the first people to reject the gods, right? You can't worship justice. You don't care. You don't care about justice. You can't worship her if you're an atheist. Do you understand? Oh my God. Who attracted, what are these people? The monists are attracted by the hatred of the good, right? And what do they always run to? Fraudsters and cons. Do you see how to pull out of the mouth of the enemy of Bacchus exactly the mirror? Do you understand what the Bacchus does? We bring that mirror. And how do we do that? We do that through the soul's cry. We do that through them. We expose them. And that is what is so dangerous about knowing these sources. You have no idea what baptism is. You have no idea. Tonight, I'm going to show you. And it's going to open your world. Before we begin, I want you to look at 5 words. This is the unbreakable. This is the indefatigable. This is the, oh God, this is the source of all the Adamas. This is the source of the invincibility. What am I saying? Are you ready for this, people? This is a weapon that you can use to cut reality in front of you. I am giving you the lightsaber tonight. Do you understand? I am giving you the lightsaber of quantum physics straight out of the mouth of dead people. This is it. Dead Mother Greek speaking people. Yeah. Okay. Are you ready for this? What is this weapon? I'm going to give it to you in one sentence. 5 of the cult terms used associated with Christianity are drug terms. The top 5 terms most often repeated around Christianity are all drug terms. It's not just this one. Give me the first one. It's not just this one. All right. Everybody knows what the Christ is. The Christ is a drug. The Christ is a drug typically applied to the eyes, but the action of Christing is the action of instilling the power of the drug. And from that, what happens? I told you, Christ drugs are always having something to do with intercourse and the creation of the Seder. Always. Give me the next term. The next term in English. That was 1. Think of it as 5 stars, people. Gospel. Right. Now, that word is not gospel. That's some German garbage. Right? I don't even know. What is that? Some kind of dude was 4'2". I'm telling you, wide, about 5'3" tall. And the dude came in and said, son of a, come here, you scholars. God. Ow. Gospel. Oh, did I just beat up a dead German when I should have picked on a dead Saxon, some breed of people up in meeting Anglos? Who cares? What is the word in Greek? Its original form. What is that word? It's either evangelion or epangelion. And what is that? That is the power of a drug. It is its efficacy in the treatment of disease. The gospel is the efficacy of the Christ. Okay. Congratulations, you hear it for the first time. Oh, look at him. Come here, little boy. Are you the one that was with Jesus Christ when he was arrested in a public park at 4 a.m.? Screaming, I am not a child trafficker. Oh, people, to see Jesus for the first time. Where's that third? People, I'm giving you 5. Savior. Soter. That which brings the health. The salvation is the health. Do you understand the great physician now? Oh my God. And people don't know it. Nobody, your Bible scholar won't know it. Right here, give me a Bible scholar to kick around right now. You right into the poop hole. Boom. You don't know these terms because you don't read Greek. You just pretend to. Bible scholars and New Testament theologians, you're friggin' losers. Galen and Alexander Traley is a doctor I'm going to show you in just a minute. They know. And they use the name Savior for specific drugs that have a gospel. Fantastic. Why is all this connected? Because these are, well, sorry, I almost blew it. That's our fifth word. What's our fourth? What's our fourth, Chewy? Are you ready? I'm telling you, Christianity cannot stand. It's the word that we're going to really look at tonight. Baptize. Baptize. And you're going to find out. Okay, Amen, you stepped over the line. You say you stepped over the line. That's it. You stepped over. Baptizing has nothing to do with drugs. I've been to church. I saw people baptize me. It's got nothing to do. I saw them going to the Jordan River. Lunatics, right? Oh, they'll do anything. That stuff will make you sick, but I try to tell them. Baptize has nothing to do with drugs. Amen, you have gone over the line. Over the line. Really? Really? Yeah. I have a passage for you tonight. No, let me just bring it up. You know what? Let me just, okay, it'll come up in a sec. Just go here really quick. I know, I'll get back to that word, Chewy. Give me, right? Chewy likes to do like the Rebellion Handbook always says, you know what I mean? Sometimes we got to jump from place to place. People, do you know what you're looking at? You are looking at the proof that baptizing is a process of intoxication. You have never seen a baptism. They do not exist. They ceased to exist several hundred years after Christianity began. But Christianity did have time to actually baptize. And oh God, look at this. You know what this phrase says? Kai kare barunti, kai be baptismenoi eoiken. Yeah, he's describing to us certain effects, to make a long story short, certain effects of things on the body. Yeah. And he says, you know what these people act like? They act like they have been baptized, right? Like they have been intoxicated. They've entered into a state of complete and total mind transference. This is psychotropic and psychedelic out the backside, people. And that is what he's comparing. Let's go back to the fifth word. We'll come back. Let's go back. Mystery. Finally, mystery, people. Anytime you talk about the mystery, you're talking about a drug. Galen, right? Alexander, right? Check them out and you'll find that drug, which is the actual mystery. It's the one that's called the mystery. You didn't know any of this because you were limited, people. Don't feel bad if you're sitting there and you're a Christian. Don't feel bad. You didn't have access to these texts, right? Not only have the translations that you've been given, not only are they packed full of theological bullshit that is not original, but they didn't get the basics, man, because these people don't read the Greek sources. You think these people read any of the Greek sources surrounding these biblical texts? No, they don't. They don't. Good God, man. Give me the next one. This is so important, people. I feel like some kind of Spider-Man. Watch what's happening. Okay, are you ready? By the way, there are people out there who are waiting to hear the cues. You're going to hear some of the cues, right? What am I going to bring you tonight first? And I want everybody in Satanic Congregation to please put on your big boy and big girl pants. Okay, I want you to be adult about this because what this says in the second line, just under the top there, e storida temporne. This is to the prostitute Doris. And it is pornikotaton. It is the most, it is the most pornographic. What is this thing that I've brought you? This is a song, baby. It's a guitar song. It's a song by some lyric poet. Oh, God, who's going to sing to us about Doris. And what does he say? He says, oh, Doris, you and your rosy bottom. I split your legs on the bed, and for a minute, I became immortal in your blooming flowers. And you got up and got on top of me like a horse. You mounted me. And you brought us all the way to that fantastic climax of Aphrodite without ever laying down. You did it with this look in your eyes I'll never forget. And your purpled parts were quivering like the leaves in the breeze. Sitting there, we brought together that white strength. And Doris herself, oh God, she poured out everything. Yeah. Exhausted. Do you love that? Do you love it? That's the story that you need to see, because it has the purple. What was the purple in this ancient Greek? It was her quivering parts. It was her parts that bring that white strength. Do you understand? These are Christings. These are cults. These are mysteries. Do you understand? What is the power of what she brings with her quivering purple parts? It is the gospel of your salvation. Hail Saturn. Thank you for the Christ. Thank you, Medea, for the Christ. Let's keep going. Oh, God, there she is again. There she is again. Oh, you flashed that up there, right? Right as I was. Okay, bring her back sometime. See the purple in her eyes, people? Don't you love that? Don't you love that? Okay, give me the next one. People, I just want to tell you, this is Ammianus, right? Ammianus. And what is he doing? Oh, God. He's giving us a look into the future. I know everything is not complete without you, my dear, having some kind of open window to the future. This is the eve 2025, the year of darkness known as in the future. Yeah, love it. Love it. Historians are crazy about this stuff. Are you ready? Amen, give you dawn from dawn. And while you are sitting there, totally unexpectant of anything, suddenly the purple will come. And there will be those who are burned by it, and those who are scorched, and those who are inflamed. And it will lead all of them into one pit. That was the translation, right? Right? What is that cup of abominations? It is the cup of her porneia. It is the cup of her porneia. The purple is prophesied, is sung of, to be returned at a specific baptism. Oh, God. If that doesn't make you all aroused intellectually, nothing will, baby. A little bit of fear, maybe, and you're back. Woo. Do you people want to see what baptism really is? Do you people? By the way, Satanic Congregation, we need some more communication, man. Chewy, get the comments up here. When people are saying relevant things, right? Oh, there's a Diana Lucifera, right? Everybody, Diana Lucifera, fantastic. Gandhi, thank you. Right? Who is that? Medea, thank you very much. That's the Medewa, right? Or the Medewanasa for people who don't know. This is old Bronze Age stuff, right? Oh, God, the cup of porneia. Thanks for bringing me back, Chuck, to the cup of porneia, right? Because that's what we're looking at tonight. This is gonna be dirty. Are you ready for some dirty? You always want some dirty ancient Greek, right? Ooh, look at that one. That one added Hecate. Oh, yeah. You know that one, don't you? That's gorgeous. That's gorgeous. By the way, Valerie's bringing this up. All of the magic can be used to substantiate the actual performance of these mystery rites, right? They're not just talking about made up stuff. This is not fiction. These are actual performances that we're talking about, and the magic reflects it beautifully, right? Especially the drugs. You're gonna love the drugs part, right? Give me the next one. Oh, God, people, are you ready? Let me just translate this. I want you to know there's a dragon. There's a certain very young, extremely handsome dragon. And being a dragon, I want to know how he receives any other snake in his dragon hole. We're going to see the Lernaean Hydra. And you're going to sit there and think, blah, monster, blah, blah. And you miss the boat. We want the real people. You're going to see them use a wound as a source of drug intoxication. A wound, a person's wound. You're going to see a wound festering. You're going to see a sepsis that can be used in hunting. This is the reaping of the soul that Soul's Cry was telling us about. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Dragon hole. Right now, what is he talking about? This youth. Who is this ephebe, right? We get in English. This ephebe was there, and he's a dragon. And that dragon is an occupation. It is not a fantasy. Those dragons know those poisons because they are on them. They are on them. They are the prophets. The prophets, right? Give me the next. This is gorgeous. Okay, it gets a little bit, it's going to get a little challenging here for you. And I wanted you to see that line one more time. This is the one I flashed up earlier that equates baptism with intoxication. And I just want you to see a little context here. Look, this person is saying, who the hell is this? I don't even remember who this is. I think it's Lucian. There are in this place these three springs. He says, look, they're beautiful, dude. And the water is very, very clear. One of these springs is for the satyrs. One is for Pan, and one is for Silenus, right? And the Indians, the Indoi, right? The Indians, he says, they go there in order to worship their god, and they drink from the fountains. Not everybody from the same fountain, but they do it according to age. And the little ones, they merakia. What do? They drink from the font of the satyrs. Do you hear it? The men of adult age, the people, what do they drink from? They drink from the spring of panic, of Pan, right? And what do the old people do? They drink from that spring that is dedicated to Silenus. Do you see the worship of Bacchus is in India far, far, far before anything that you recognize as some sort of transmission of ideas between East and West. They are already worshiping the three. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I love it. Let's go on. I got one under that. It's going to say what happens. What happens to these people? Is that the next one? Yeah. Oh, God, look at him. He got his horns. It's not there anymore. He got his horns, though. Hey, brah. Right? Look at him. That guy would be fun to hang around with, right? Okay. Give it to me. Give it to me. It's slow now. Look, we have a problem. Yeah. Oh, this is a little bit out of order, but I just wanted you to see here that baptize. Look, people, here's one definition of baptism. Did we skip these? Maybe we skipped that. Oh, yeah, we skipped a whole bunch. Hang on. Go back, Chewy. There we go. Here's our next one. Okay, so there we were at the three fountains with the Indians, and they are getting high, right? They're getting high, and he's going to tell us what happens. So he says, look, what happens to the children when they drink, and the things that the grown people dare to do when they're possessed by Pan. Those things, I don't have enough time to talk about those things, but I'll tell you, the old people, the things that they do, whenever they get wasted, methustosin, right? You see the methylated root on there, right? Whenever they get wasted on this water, what do they do? What do they do? Well, first of all, you got to know the water is possessed by Silenus, right? And so that'll kind of give you an understanding. What do they do? They immediately go mute. They can't talk, right? And it's very much like someone who is intoxicated and baptized. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? The people who are intoxicated, the ones whose minds are drifting, right? They're baptized. Baptism causes you to enter into an altered state. And you say, oh, now I get it. Now it makes sense, right? That's the fun about just reading the Greek, is it clears up things about the Bible that you sounded fairy tale to you and hokey, right? When Jesus is baptized by John, what happens? Dude sees heaven split open and a dove descending on him, runs off, oh God, into what they call the eremon, the wilderness. You've been translating that as wilderness, and you think it means, oh, he just went off in the desert, you stupid jerks who gave us this theological crap. You didn't read the Greek. Whenever they say to a wilderness place, they're going to put topos. Mark does. He puts topos on the end of it so you can distinguish it from the void that is the place you go to be tempted by Satan when you are on the drugs, when you are Christed. Are you the Christ? We all know what that entails. Did you see the children that we're talking about? Did you see them sitting there? People, you cannot build a wall between your Bible and everything else around it. Take a look and ask yourself, which is it? Maybe it's both. Maybe it's both. I don't know. I'm conflicted. I'm a little conflicted. What do you think? Oh, look, they're on the purple. Right? I love it. Do you love it? Look there, people. Look there, people. Does anybody see Hymen there? Does anybody see Hymen? Hymenaeus. And the Christians say, what is that? That is what your first people would have been hearing in their ears when their Jesus Christ was screaming, I am not a child trafficker, as he hauled him off and were unable to capture the naked kid that was with him or any of the passed out apostles. right? Do you understand? It's funny, but history will show that Christing is a drug delivery to make you horny. Oh, God says, Jesus, if let this pass. Let this cup pass. And the funny thing is, when Jesus is standing in the Garden of Gethsemane, and he's standing there right next to him, is a naked kid. He's not holding a cup. He's standing there with a naked kid who's got a bandage on his dilly. Medicated, impregnated bandage. Do you know what they do with these things? You cut yourself. You take that 7-year-old and you train her to make cuts in her skin. And then to prepare a drug that you impregnate linen bandages with and to wrap those cuts with the bandages. You teach her to do this when she is 7, and by the time that she is 9, your Medusa will be emerging at all those temples of the Echidna, at all those temples that the Christians are trying to baptize out of existence. Do you understand what she is doing? What is the cup of porneia when it returns? When the cup of porneia returns, so will the horses. Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely. Give me the next one. Give me the next one. We got to charge these people. They said, look, this is New Year's. Bro, you can't bring us junk. Right? We want 100%. Keep giving us. Give me the next one. Boom. People, look at this verb, just so you know I'm not BSing you, right? To be bewildered, to be drowsy. Your head is messed up, right? You stagger as one drunken, right? I'm not making this up to you, right? Baptizo, it's not like I'm coming up with really odd terms or something. Baptizo, to die, right? To dip or plunge into some kind of dye. Give me the next one. Look at people, just look at this. To dip. This is just bapto, right? To dip, to die. All right, so look at some things that you can dye. You want to see something cool? Oh, we found some dyes here. Hang on a second. Here it is. Look at number 2, right? Dye the beautiful cloth, right? Clothing. You can always Christ clothing, right? What else can you Christ? You can baptize your hair. You can baptize your hair. Oh, God, isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, give me the next. Show me the baptism. Do you have a, Chewy has a great image. Yeah, there we go. People, look at this hair. This is red and blonde hair. Red and blonde hair. Do you want to see something? Do you want to see some hair doings? It's one of these. Go. Boom. People, look at this. Oh, that's the gospel one. People, the most divine, I'll just translate, the most divine Galen already explained this stuff to us. You know, it's been laid out, and there are many people who trust in the efficacy of these drugs. That's what it says. There are many who trust in the efficacy of these drugs, right? These drugs that he's talking about in this text. This is a physician. And I just wanted you to see the bottom line, that middle word, evangeliais, right? That is the word gospel. That is the word gospel. Ep and eo, angelia, variants, right? They're used interchangeably. And you'll see that. And this here, what is he talking about? He's talking about what is the gospel of those drugs. These people have faith in the gospel of those drugs. Right? They're mixtures of plants and whatnot. Do you understand? The gospel is your salvation. You're bringing to health. Right? Okay, look, but I promised you dying and stuff. I promised you dying. Here's another. This is Alexander Traley's doctor. Give it to me. Give it to me, Chewy. Are you ready? Oh, God. What are they working with? What kind of drugs are they working with? Now, people, I say this all the time and nobody ever believes me. So here it is. Let everybody feast their eyes on the antidote that is the theriac, the theriacal antidote. Why doesn't it just say the antidote? Because this isn't just any antidote, right? You see that last word in Greek, antidoton. This isn't just any antidote. It is one that is used as a theriac. That is, it is used in combination with a death inducer. Do you understand? This is the physical rite of the mysteries that you think you're celebrating on Sunday that you are absolutely not. Okay. Here are the drugs that are involved. That's the class. You can say that's the class of drugs. And again, just so you see the overlap here with the baptizing, go ahead and give it to me. Oh, yeah. And people say, oh, you can't do this because the Bible is special, right? We can't talk about the Bible. The Bible is special. And when people in the Bible said baptized, they did not mean what everybody else around them meant when they said baptism, right? Do you see what monists do? They try to pull the wool over your reason, right? We need the one after this. Yep. It's still coming. All right, fantastic. So that was the theriac antidote. Do you understand? The theriac antidote, the compound drug that will be used to counter the death inducer. Is it still? There it is. Now, here we go. What does it say? This is the antidote that works on those, what they call quartan fevers, those tetartaius, right? Those things that come about from this abundance of the melancholic humor. And here's a drug list. I just wanted you to see a simple drug list. Look, they've got Castorian. It's the first thing. This is the top of the list. It goes on. And they give you the drachma, the measurements, the dry weights of these things, right? And, because they want to be accurate. By the way, do you know why? Do you know why we don't know how they built the pyramids? Stop. Why we don't know how they built the pyramids? Yeah. Do you think there's anything they built in Greece that we don't know how they built it? No, of course there's nothing. Why? Because their architects are writing things down, right? Their scientists are writing things down, right? Their poets are recording. They have a language that gives them the capacity to do so. These Egyptians can't. My God, man, have you ever read the Book of the Dead? People are always, I just want to take a step back for a minute to bash some ancient Egyptian folklore. And that ancient Egyptian folklore is that the Egyptians had some kind of romantic influence over the Greeks. They didn't. The Greeks brought you civilization, you boneheads, and you say, oh, we have temples. We have these grand pyramids, these blocks upon blocks of, these are grand, and we have this old kingdom. Bullshit! Do you know what that is? Show us. Just put it out on the, okay, you want to prove yourself, Egypt? Show us your literature. Show us your literature. People, have you read the Book of the Dead? Oh my God. The person who wrote that had something wrong, man. It was one of the rocks from the pyramids tumbled down, hit this poor guy, right? Have you seen it? Have you seen the level of composition that it is? Now, people, you will sit there and you will say, I thought these were the ancient wisdom. This is alien landings. And do you know that language is so insufficient that their literature looks like it was written by somebody who's just a couple of years older than the dude who wrote about Gilgamesh? Yeah. Yeah, people. Yeah, and you say, oh, I don't like it when he starts bashing literature. It sucks, dude. It sucks. There is no Egyptian literature. It's garbage because their language was incapable of transmitting, of pulling from the ether and giving to people that higher imagination. It was unable to do so, right? And that's why you get pyramids. Pyramids are not impressive, bro. Do you think the Greeks walked around? Woo, your pyramids. Oh, God, look at those things. No, baby. They were making columns shaped like people out of stone with garments in stone that would betray some kind of illusory invisibility. It looked, you could see through the garments down to the skin. How can I do that? It's all stone. Pyramids, brah. You really want to know? I'll tell you how they built those pyramids with a hell of a lot of slaves. Congratulations. Not smart, not civilized. The Greeks brought you civilization. Soon as the Greek language hit Egypt, boom, explosion. Explosion. Libraries, people. Libraries are all the evidence we need to see what Christianity really was, to see what Judaism, the religion, really was. Fantastic. Monism, people. It's underneath the scope here. Now we skip these, so I want to go back. Boom, and hit. Yep, let's just go ahead. I hope we're going to hit the good ones. Okay. Who's that? Oh, that's lovely. Don't you love it? I hate to be floating above Lucifer as he, is with her. That seems a little bit inappropriate. Is it going to come up, or should we just wait here? People, by the way, can I say how nice it is? How nice it is. Watch how the translation completely misses. He falls dumb for a space like one in Venus lethargy. That was the line of the baptism. You would never know there was a baptism in there, would you? You would never know. Yeah, it's no good, people. It's no good. If you can't read the originals, anybody can tell you anything. You're going to get a Huff, or you're going to get a Dory, or you're going to get a Myth Vision. You're going to get somebody who's going to step in the breach to collecty wecty. You know what I mean? And as soon as you're back there, oh man, I'm back in the alley with the sellers and the buyers. Give me the next one. Those translations, dude, they will buy and sell just anything you want. You can get a Bible translation to say anything you want. And that's a disgrace. That's what the theologians give us. All you theologians, I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out. Fantastic. Here's another Greek source. Okay, fantastic. Look at the first line. About 4 or 5 words from the end is epangelomai. Right? What is that we're talking about? We're talking about efficacy once again. Efficacy. And I just want you to look at the very bottom line. I'm not going to go through this in detail, but I want you to look at the 1, 2, 3, 4th word in Baptize. Baptize. Do you know what it is to become influenced in a religious state within a cult that delivers to you the death and the resurrection? Do you know what they call that? They call that getting Bacchic. I just want you to see on that bottom line, these people who were yelling, Away, Away, Away. What are they doing? They're performing the Bacchic rites, which are the cult mysteries of the Christians. Yeah. You didn't need to go far. All you had to do was look at the Greek. They want to sell you this stuff, people. Don't let them sell it to you. Don't let them sell it to you, because you know how it comes out. It comes out sloppy. And if you don't do this yourself, you got no place of trying to do it. Right? I don't care. Oh, you say, oh, what gives you the right? What gives you the right to say who can and who can't? I'll tell you what gives me the right. Physics, bro. Physics. The sources are all in language that if you cannot read that language, you don't have the sources. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. Do you know who the best person to translate the Bible would be? Somebody who had read it all. Now, this person doesn't exist, but somebody who had read all of that ancient literature, including the Bible. All right? Give them that perspective of the early to the late, let them just see it. It'd be like standing on the Tower of Babel, baby. Standing on the Tower of Babel. Do you know how much more beautiful? Can I just say this? Do you know how much more beautiful the Bible is in Greek? The beauty factor alone. In the beginning was sky. Are you ready for the Hebrew? In the beginning was sky and ground. And the ground was void and void. Now hear the Greek. In the beginning were Gaia and Uranos. And Gaia was unprepared and unseen. Do you see? The nature has to be seen. It has to be brought forward. Now that text is Genesis 1 and 2. Right? 1:1 and 1:2. And that text is so amazing in the ancient Greek. And for some reason, that little tiny 7,000 word vocabulary that they've got going in the ancient Greek, that they're trying to forge these things that they're calling translations that are not translations, right? That Hebrew is a forgery of history. It cannot contain what the Greek contains. So you are being cheated of that source. I am telling you, here at the library, we guard those sources. These people that you talk to on YouTube, can I tell you one last time? I know you're tired of it, congregation. You're like, oh, he's on this bent again. Right? Oh, God. What's he going to say? Don't, people. Don't listen to anyone who can't actually read what they are talking about. I gave you the 5 terms tonight. 5 terms that in Greek are the terms that are most associated with Christianity. And they are all drug terms. They're all drug terms. Right? The world can't take it that Christ is a drug term. It's eating them up. It's eating them up to such a degree that I am the scum. I am the scum for pointing it out. And I must be stopped for pointing it out. Do you understand the power of the gadfly? Hail Satan. Do you understand the power? The power in this world, people, is not in money. It's not in human politics or in human power. It's not. It's in the Logos. The Greeks knew this. They tried to pass it on to us. They tried to pass it on. Okay, give me the next one. Give me the next one. People, I want to give you a couple. Did we hit all those? I think we did. Let's get this one. Yeah. It's the, oh, yeah. Ooh, this is a lovely one. You're going to love this. I think they're going to love this. This is a good one. What's happening, Lucifer? Something happened out there. Look, behind you. There's something going on. Yeah, I suppose it's probably. Chewy thinks it's World War III, right? Chewy thinks it could be. Give us some Greek, please. Right? Here's the poison, people. So we're back to the baptizing. To dip in poison. Ebopsin ius. Right? What are you baptizing? You're baptizing your arrows. And what else are you baptizing on this line? Look at hitona. Hitona. You baptize your clothing. Okay, now I know this sounds funny to you, and you think, oh, God, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Why? I'm baptizing, I'm dying, I am infiltrating with drugs, right? This is the culture that is developing this technology that appears in this Sophocles, this little bit of Sophocles here. And this is that guardian of the knowledge, that pedagogue. And what is he saying? He's saying, hey, if you take my clotted blood in your hands, you know, it's the stuff that the Lernaean Hydra baptizes his bile-bringing arrows with Do you understand? And what will it do? What will this poison do? It will change the mind of Heracles. It's going to make him. It's going to put him into the mode of the Keleterion. He's going to be so attracted to you, he's not going to go after any woman ever. Right? We're back to Christ things. We're back to cult drugs, and we're back to sexuality. Now, what is this thing going to do? How is it going to put his mind into what state? Give it to me, Chewy. How is it going to do that? It's going to do that through the kelethmos, right? Through an enchantment. Skip to the next one, through an enchantment. You say, or fascination. You say, that's good. You say, what is a fascination? It's when you've been fascinated, or when the fascinum has been applied to you. Do you know what the fascinum is? It is a dildo. It's a penis. You point it at people. It's a power of magic to bewitch you, to fascinate you. Now, there is hidden in this very text something for that one. Are you ready to charm, to bewitch, or to beguile? And you were thinking, because I was leading, you were thinking heavily on the drugs. How are the drugs doing? What are the drugs doing? Show me the drugs, right? This is the power of the music. Are these people crazy? Are these people crazy? You're going to drug somebody. You're going to change their mental state with your incantations or your music. Do you know what they're doing in the mystery? They're using drugs, sex, and music to purge for the sake of health. The musician is the one who has the power. And that is why they say Medea's song is more important than even her drugs. And we know how important her drugs are, right? Because none of this is happening without the drugs. For all of you monists out there, I want you to hear my voice, and I want you to, as this picture's sitting there, and we're looking at the fleece with Medea, and we're looking at her song upon that fleece. I want you just for 1 minute to look at the first Christ, the first example, the oldest example that we have of somebody Christing is with the person of Medea, who Christs herself, Yeah, that song on the fleece is everything. And we dragons will always guard it. We will always guard her song. Do you understand why the music is so important? Right? It's not my music. It's not your music. But if you step close to this thing, I'm taking you down. Its integrity will never be challenged so long as I'm a dragon. Do you understand? Oh, God. Isn't it gorgeous? Who wants to live otherwise, people? Seriously. Was that prophecy about the purple? That was gorgeous. Give me the next one. Oh, and get some of these. Look at some of these Christing comments are gorgeous. Like some of these Christing comments are gorgeous people have. Okay. Give us the next source, Chewy. Yeah, was it that one? The one on the end? Oh, fantastic. Good memory. Okay, people, I've brought you a little delight. You're never going to see this again. Nobody's going to be able to find this. And if you were to just, here's what I want you to do. I want you to ask somebody. Next time you see some scholar, next time you see some person on YouTube telling you about mystery and about antiquity, I want you to write in a question, see if they can answer it. If everybody writes in the same one, we'll prove our point, right? We'll prove our point. Are you ready? I want you to ask them, how do you dye hair red or make hair blonde in antiquity? They won't know it, right? They won't even know that you could do that. Why is this so important? Because the same person who invented Christing, who is first recorded to be Christed, That same person is also baptizing. That's the person. They say that she invented the baptizing. Are you ready for this? This says right here, you can baptize your hair red, and you can make it blonde too. And I'm going to tell you how. You take one part of Smyrna. Oh, God. It already is starting. Another part of its flowers, and you compound these together, pound these up together, and you make this kind of paste, a thick paste, and you prosmexas. You what? Do you hear the root for smegma in there? Do you want some smegma? I've got your smegma. This is great smegma for you. And what is it? What do you do with smegma? When you smego something, you clean it, but you do it specifically with another drug, usually some kind of salve or paste. It can be an ointment as well, right? But you're cleaning, it's prepping the skin. So he says, you prep the head with this ointment, and then people, look at the second line, second last word, you you Christ with the drug toi pharmakoi. You Christ with the drug. Do you see how you've never heard the Bible? It's never been preached. It's never been taught in any pulpit. You can take it down. It's never been taught. The Bible has never been taught. Right? Because, of course, when Jesus and his boys were first doing this, they didn't have a Bible. Right? They didn't have a Bible. Now, and for those of you who keep writing to me saying, and the apostles were old people, then tell me how it is that John is still writing in 100. Right? Dude, what is he, like 120 then? Right? These are the boys, baby. These are the boys. It explains a lot, the language. As soon as you get the language. Okay, give me the next one. We did, people are like, they need something climactic here. We got to give them some kind of strong finish. Right, we got to give them something good. Here it comes. I love that background, by the way, Chewy. I love that background. Hello, it's not there. Are we seeing things? I'm seeing a dude with a kid. Is that, oh God, I finally lost it, man. I'm seeing it. Did they see a dude with a kid? Oh, they did. All right, never mind. We all saw the dude with a kid, right? This transition here from Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane to a Greek text is like pushing through time. This is from Acts 22:17. Right? And what is Paul going to describe to us? Paul is going to describe to us a prophetic drug trip. Are you ready? It came about when I turned to go to Jerusalem, came to the temple, and I was sitting there praying. I entered into ecstasy. I entered into ecstasy. Wait a minute. Paul, are you the same guy that got boosted up to the third heaven? Chewy, I don't remember. Is one of them. Are you the one who did that? And you said you don't know if you were actually awake or asleep, or if it's dreaming, if the dude is in the flesh. You didn't really know, but you were in the third heaven. You're doing it in the temple. Do you know where to get your ecstasy in Antiquity? It's in the temple of Jerusalem. Now you know why Gangsta G is kicking frickin' tables over. Do you understand? When you have boys and you have rights and you have been trained how to use these eunuchs, what a waste of your training it would be for the kingdom of heaven if you did not exercise on these children what you had been taught. Oh God, it's getting creepy. Give me another one. Let's creep them out more. Let's show them the baptism. You want to see the baptisms? Get that initiating part. Get the banner off there. Let's bring it up. Oh, it is already. Ecstasy, people. Do you want to see the definition of the ecstasy? Just peruse that for a little bit, right? What is it really? What are you doing when you're becoming ecstatic? You're being pulled out of where you are in space and time. You are being brought to a new place. You're being displaced. It is a standing aside. Have you ever known yourself? If you could stand outside yourself and look, you could see and observe things about who you are that you normally couldn't. That is what ecstasy does. It's a distraction of mind. It's a drunken excitement. Can you hear the negativity? Can you hear the negativity? It's a drunken excitement. Do you know where Paul was going? He was going to a place that the venom facilitated going to. And when Paul shows up and is immune to the vipers, don't be surprised. This is Peter now. He's talking to people, and he's saying, you got a metanoesate. You've got a metanoesate. And everybody says, oh, it means repent, repent, repent. No, it doesn't. It means to shift your mind, dumbass. And you're only going to get there, it says, if you're baptized. There's got to be. Why? What does the end of that verse say? This is so that you can receive that pneuma, that holy wind. That holy wind. You want to know who the first hymns were to? They were written by the first Christ, Medea, and they were to those inspiring winds. They were to those inspiring winds. Oh, God, give it. Next one. No, people, do you see it for the first time? You're reading it, people. This is the Bible for the first time. I'm not telling you what to think. I'm not telling you what to buy. I'm not telling you what professor's book to go fish out of the drain. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you the sources are saying, look, your baptism is an antitype. It is an impression. And it is what brings salvation. You have to be part of the death and resurrection. You have to be part of the death and resurrection. If you are a Christian who is just believing in Christ, your faith is empty. It is completely empty because you have never been through this process. You have not been to death and resurrection. Have you? They haven't killed you and resurrected you, have you? Have they? No, of course they haven't. You just have your faith. That's all you have. And that is false. It is false religion. It is not Christianity. What does he say? He says, those who trust and are baptized will be saved. Not those who trust, those who are baptized. Why? Why? You have to be able to enter into that death and resurrection of Christ, people. What kind of things, he says, look at verse 17. What kind of things are people going to do? The signs. The signs. You're going to give signs. You're going to cast out demons. When's the last time you casted out a demon? I'm not talking flim-flam. Do you understand? I'm saying this is something Christians do because of their baptism. They cast out demons. They speak in new languages. They they handle serpents. And if they drink some kind of death inducer, that pair to the theriac, what happens? It doesn't hurt them. It doesn't hurt them. They get handsy and heal people. That's what Christians are doing from the very beginning. And if you don't think on the Jewish side that the temple, the curtains, the tent where Moses meets God and hears God's voice. Yeah. If you don't think Paul can go and sit in that temple and become intoxicated for a very practical anthropological reason, you're a moron and you're fit for fairy tales. Some of us are not just not in a position for reality. Right? Some of us are just not in a position to be able to hand reality. And what do? We run to the lies. We run to the lies. I have something to sell you. It's eternal life, we'll call it. Eternal life doesn't exist, Christians. It doesn't exist. In the text, it says ionic life. And ionic life makes perfect sense with the cult. And that's why they have ion in the Jewish synagogues. Do you see? Judaism, Christianity sprang from the same root. You had this idea, you believe this history. Oh, there's this prophet, Isaiah, back in the 8th, and there's Abraham. Oh, this is early stuff. This is Bronze Age bullshit. Bullshit. Didn't exist. Didn't happen. It's a fairy tale. We've got a beautiful text. We need to see what that text says. Couple more. Lay on some baptism. These people really need to go home with splashy baptism stuff. Yeah, go ahead. Woo, go ahead. Did we ever get to the? Yeah, we did. Look at people. Oh, here's Jesus again. Right. Okay. What was the real point of them? Look, he says, I have all authority, exousia, in the heaven, right? I have all authority in heaven and on earth, right? Right? And what am I doing? I want you to go out and I want you to proselytize. I want you to make students, right, of all the nations. And what are you going to do? You're going to baptize them, right? How is he going to do this? How do you make disciples out of boys that you take off of their parents' boats? How do you make apostles out of these people? It says you baptize them. You baptize them. And what do you tell them to do? You tell them to teilen, to guard all the things that I taught you in the initiation. You're not going to talk about this. And this is standard for a mystery, right? This is standard for the mystery. Do you see the very last word? It's ion, right? Until the completion, the complete initiation of the ion. Oh my God. You mean when Jesus said, for God so loved the world, Bible, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish, but have what? Everlasting life. Doesn't exist. It says ionic. 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 It's the same problem. Every once in a while, go ahead and take that down. You'll see a comment that people will flash up and they'll say, Christ is Messiah, the anointed one, right? And you see that and you think, I've seen it so many times now. I think to myself, did somebody program this into the system as like a gut response, right, to any sort of challenge? And the funny thing is, right, they say Christ is Messiah. The funny thing is that there's already a word, Messias, and it is not Christos. And they can't see it. They can't see it. Why? Because there were very good propagandists, on both sides of the monism, right? There were very good propagandists who said, this is our actual past. This is our actual past. No proof of it whatsoever. No archaeology, no literature. We're just going to invent it, and you're going to believe it. That's why faith is so important. Because you can't pull the wool over the eyes of reason, but you can faith. As a matter of fact, you've got to faith, right? Faith doesn't have any hope around reason. Faith dissolves. Yeah, fantastic. We're going to do one or two more, and then I want to tell people specifically about the poop hole and the marvelous things that we meant to do and didn't get to. People look more baptizing, right? Why are you baptized? So that you can receive that pneuma. That pneuma pneuma is that inspiration. It is that spirit, right? And if you recall, right, the body has all, it's a singular thing, but you've got all these parts. Whoops, we just transferred that off. We'll move on. That's okay. To 1 Corinthians 12:13, right? For in the Spirit we are all baptized into one body. There's neither Jew nor Greek. There's neither slave nor free. And everyone, right? All of us have imbibed one pneuma. All of us have imbibed one pneuma. People will say, oh, it's so flowery. It's metaphor. No, it's not. No, it's not. When he says we're baptized into Christ, do you understand? These are still drugs. When he says we are the ones who have consumed this spirit, right? We have been watered by it. We have been flooded. We have been medicated so that when people see us as we are the baptized, they will say, look at those intoxicated people. What are they doing with the kids? And why are they saying they are not trafficking? Okay. All right. Give us a... Okay, I want people to be able... Yeah. Oh, there's something... Okay, Chewy says there's something worth investigating here. Bring it up. It's going to take a second. Just, enjoy. Look at the sunrise or sunset, right? We're all baptized into one soma. Do you understand when you receive that spirit? Do you understand how you can be in that Christ? Okay, next. Right? And what does that do? It takes away status. It takes away who you are. Right? Some people would say, somebody would yell, jump up and say, oh, ego death. Right? Yeah, congratulations, people. Right? Congratulations, right? You've seen it. Okay, fantastic. Let's keep going. Right? When you're in, and don't be ignorant that whoever, right? Hosoi e baptistem. Right? Whoever we are who have been baptized, we're baptized eis Christon, right? Into that Christed one, into that Yesun. Do you understand? We can only be in Jesus because of the Christing, because that Christing has brought us eis ton thanaton. Right? It's brought us to death. We are baptized into death. Okay, fantastic. Chewy made a video. Chewy spent a lot of time on a video that we did not, because of our service, we did not download or upload. But I am telling you, it was a compilation of baptisms. Just wonderful baptism. That guy's not being baptized. He's being thrown into the pit. Leave him up there. Do you know what happens? The purple leads us all to this dude getting thrown into the pit. I say you crucify him a lot more. I don't know. It's a lot more. I don't know. There's more spectacle in the whole getting thrown off a cliff. By the way, this is how you execute people. Sometimes in Antiquity, right? Throw them off a cliff. The Athenians have one. Right now, if you're doing something bad enough as a lace days, as a Jesus with his kid in the public park, so bad that they're going to want to do something like this to you, or to officially, because under Rome, right, we don't do things, there's a procedure in Rome, right? There's procedures. You've got to put somebody through the court system. You've got to put them into that place. You can rush it. Don't get me wrong, and they did. But you've got to give them that benefit, right? You've got to allow them to have their time to speak, right? And, okay, so it's rushed, but that crucifixion, that was practical. It was practical. Right? You can't administer empire without maintaining some semblance of justice. And if you are crucifying only the worst of the worst, like Jesus, people who are lacei, people who are responsible for taking children, pulling off their testicles, drugging them, and turning them into sex slaves that can boost you to a higher spiritual level. Okay, if you're doing this kind of stuff, somebody's going to want to throw you off a cliff, Jesus. The joke is on everybody else, right? This is the guy that you trust in. This is the guy you follow. Oh my goodness. Oh, God is right. Okay, give me more. We're going to have a couple of more. Let's just look, a couple more baptisms. I just want you to see a couple of, give me the last couple of these. Boom. Oh, God, I still love that. Is that a sunset or a sunrise? It's a sunrise. That's what I thought, because we were out before all the sons of God. All the sons of God meet together at sunrise, right? Right. Just before. And what do? We herald the dawn. From dawn to dawn, the purple is revealed. Oh, God. And what does it do? It leads to that pit, to one pit. Is it really taking? Romans 6:4, sunetaphemen. We've been buried together, autoi, with him, therefore with him. Dia tu baptismatos. How do we get there? We get there through baptism. What kind of baptism? A baptism, ace, ton, thanaton. People, Paul could not have made this more clear, right? Just as Christ was raised from the dead through the glory of the Father, even so we, in newness of life, right? We continue our way in newness of life because we have entered into death with Jesus. Through the Christing, we are baptized into death and resurrection. Nobody is doing this. The Pope, none of that. It's all bullshit. Do you understand me? These little churches, none of them are doing this. None of them are true Christians. You have an aberration, a monist mental aberration. That is the world you are living in. Fantastic. For somebody who reads the sources, right? It's all you need. And by the way, I was telling my students who are in the reading group, this class Delta, I was telling them, people, you are really the rock, right? You are really the bedrock, because people, it doesn't matter what I say. If I can teach someone to translate ancient Greek, they can pick that up and they can run with it. And then they can say whatever they want. Is that what the source is saying? Verify it. Right? Confirm it, deny it, right? Prove it wrong, prove it right. That's how we work at the museum, right? We are all buried together with him. We come in newness of life, right? And if some of us are in there growing, right, in this likeness of his death, we're going to also be in the likeness of his resurrection. You in your life are that process of entering into death, coming back, having that knowledge, that self-knowledge, know yourself. This is so, Christianity is not just an offshoot of classical Bacchic religion. It is classical Bacchic religion. What does he say in Galatians? Right? Whoever's been baptized into Christ, right, has indusaste Christon, has done what to the Christ? Has engaged it, right? People oftentimes mistranslate this as to clothe, right? To clothe. No, it's engaging whatever it is, whether it's a material cloth or whether it's a Christ, it's engaging it, right? You have entered into the Christ if you are baptized. Now, and you say, they didn't do any of this to me. They didn't put any stuff on me and add the Christ, and I didn't enter into death, and I didn't come back, and there wasn't sex involved. And the reason that you're saying that is because you have never been baptized. The revelation of 2025 is that the same people who put an Adolf Hitler loving idiot into the executive office to destroy the Constitution, those same people have never entered into their own rights. They don't know what they are. They don't know that they are the rights of pederasts. They don't know that. Welcome, Christianity, to the real. Give me the next one. Oh, there it is. I am that one who is Christed, right? Right? That's what people are going to say. Why does it say this? It says many people, right? Many people are going to go around saying, I am the Christ. I am Ho Christos. And they're going to what? They're going to cause many people to planeo. And this is usually translated as wander. Now, how do you cause somebody to wander? It sounds like, again, oh, it's fairy tale. Oh, let me bring out my British Victorian. I have never had intercourse with my eyes open, but I know for a fact that this is metaphor. It's brilliant metaphor from Matthew. Yeah, you can be rest assured that that verb planeo, it really means to cause somebody's mind to wander, to put them in a system that kicks them out of that self in order to be reflective. Isn't that nice? This is what the people are doing with these Christs. They're pushing you into a place of vision. And you read that and you thought something totally different. And your pastor said something totally different. And your priest said something totally different, because they are all anal crammed with theology. It's a lie. And it has nothing to do with the original text. And I, as a classicist, am breaking through the bullshit so that other scholars can step forward into this breach and widen it. Do you understand? Give me the next one. This is the last one. People, let's finish off with this. Oh, God. And thank you, by the way, for your time. Thank you for your time tonight. I realize you should be out having a grand old time. As a matter of fact, I hope you're sitting there with some kind of luscious beverage, right? And maybe some snackery or some cakery, something like that. I hope you feel tingling all over. You know what I mean? I hope you're having a great time. Happy New Year to everyone. Oh, it's the beginning of darkness. Whenever you see the abomination of the void spoken of by Daniel, the prophet, sitting in the holy place, those of you who have access to memory, get it through your head. Do you understand? There is an eremosis coming. There is an emptiness that is brought to you by a form of pollution that reveals itself in the lies of Christianity, in the lies of monism, whether it's classical Judaism, classical Christianity. In those cults, the lies bring darkness. Have you been drawn to the lie? Have you been drawn to the liar? Have you sat and watched as your people pulled down your independence around your ears. Do you know, people, what Tom Jefferson said? He said the greatest threat to the fledgling American democracy is the Christian church. Do you understand that the American democracy has fallen to the greed, to the lies of Christianity and its king? Yeah. I want you to reflect in this year of darkness. I want you to reflect on those sources because they are what matters. People have taken these things away from you. I am restoring them, and that is why they hate. It is impenetrable. It is an totally indestructible weapon. These sources, this reality that is in the language itself, will defeat the lies and the liars. Thank you for coming tonight. I bring you just a little bit of hope, just a little bit left around the lid of the jar for you to be diluted with. This is going to be great pain. Thank you for the switch from the Apollonian to the Dionysian. This is the third. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan, kiss bang bang, bet you are gonna do a thing. Ghost riding in the blaze, through the Roman culture, the drug. The government pulls strings with heroin and cocaine. Follow the blang blang, Satan sees everything. Jesus the drug addict maintained his habit through prostitution and child trafficking. You can't make this shit up. What's it say in the Greek, right? Lady Babylon, ride the beast. Raising Cain, my pizza dough, rise with the yeast. Look up high, you can see us flying by. On Medea's magic carpet we ride to that place, your favorite, the dark harbor, where the ship set course. Wickedness was endorsed. I'm pushing up with horses of the apocalypse, revealing the dark goddess.